And now for a look at what's got one Chinese blogger writing today. And the blogger we've chosen today is Professor Wei Yongzheng, a prominent media law expert, and he's currently teaching at Beijing-based Communication University of China. Now, he writes and lectures on media law and journalism ethics, and today, writing on tmtpost.com, he discusses a recent trend whereby suspects who've not been charged with any crime appear on national television admitting to their guilt. Professor Wei looks at the most recent case of such an on-camera confession, and that was of New Express journalist Chen Yongzhou. Chen wrote a series of reports critical of a large Changsha-based company called Zoomlion, manufacturing construction materials. Soon afterwards, he was detained by local Changsha police, who said that he had damaged Zoomlion's reputation. At first, his employers, the New Express newspaper, defended Chen and his stories and demanded his release, even printing an appeal on its front page on 2 consecutive days. Then, in a dramatic turn of events, Chen, who had yet to be charged with anything, appeared on China Central Television, CCTV as it's known. Shaven-headed, handcuffed and wearing prison garb, he admitted to everything the police had accused him of, including accepting bribes and falsifying his reports. The next day, the New Express also did a 180 and published an apology for its previous stance. Our blogger feels the confession says more about the Changsha police and China Central Television than it does about the guilt or not of Chen. Here's his take, as translated by the Hong Kong-based China Media Project. This program of China Central Television's, allowing a detained suspect to face the television camera and confess before the whole country, directly violates a criminal procedure law which states that no person may be forced to confess their own crimes. When someone has been deprived of their personal freedom and where they are escorted out in prison garb and handcuffs by burly police officers, to say that they are consciously and willingly confessing their wrongs in their own words wouldn't fool even a 3-year-old child. The China Central Television program exposes the illegal behaviour of the police. The prison statute clearly stipulates restraints may be used with the approval of the prison warden in cases where there is reason to believe an offender might use violence, resist escape or attempt suicide. The new criminal procedure law introduced last year made additional demands about not forcing confessions and also made stipulations about protecting the secrecy of information during the process of investigation and trial. Our media must study these important regulations and make fundamental changes to reporting confessions by suspects before trial. This report from CCTV not only failed to make these adjustments, but was even more flagrant than usual in its violations. We've taken a number of comments following that to give you an idea of some of the responses. This poster has another point to add. There is a long way to go before we have rule of law in China. Apart from the legal system, it's important that people actually support the principle of rule of law. Without a change in attitudes, accepting the unwritten rules will remain the norm in our society. Written laws will be no more than fancy words on paper. This net user has hope that change may come eventually. For a long time, the media in China have behaved only as mouthpieces. They rarely bother about the law and the constitution. As appreciation of the rule of law increases in our society, the professionalism of the media is also bound to increase. And finally, this poster has some strong words for state media as well. Evidence must be defined by the court according to the law. Guilt cannot be determined by a defendant's confession in the absence of other evidence. The media should not state that the evidence is clear. This just exposes their ignorance. Coming up next, Q&A, what's got Chinese net users curious today.